Hi, this is Dr. Pechenik, and this is a message to President Xi of China. President Xi of China has complained for the past 2 years that Trump is very unpredictable. Therefore, China cannot make any concessions and cannot make a deal with regard to the tariffs. President Xi, I beg to differ with you. Actually, President Trump is very predictable. You, President Xi, identify Mao Zedong as your model. Ironically, Mao Zedong was the one who beat up your father and beat you up during the Cultural Revolution. Yet, through a very primitive psychological mechanism called identification with the aggressor, you made Mao your idol. Now let me explain a little bit about Mao because I studied him. Unlike my colleagues, psychiatrists at Harvard and Yale, they know nothing about our president or they know nothing about our foreign leaders. Thanks to the CIA, military intelligence, and DARPA, I spent many years studying Mao Zedong and the Cultural Revolution. Number one, if you understood Mao very well, he was grandiose and narcissistic. Sounds familiar? Number two, he was a prevaricator or a liar. Does that sound familiar? Mao claimed that he was the father of the Chinese Communist Party. He had nothing to do with the beginning of the Chinese Communist Party. If you had read André Malraux's Man's Fate, you would have known that in the 1920s, Zhou Enlai had already established the Chinese Communist Party, and he was already negotiating in Paris on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. Number three, the Long March, with Mao claimed this was the culmination of the Communist Party, was nothing more than the retreat from the Kuomintang. Then in 1937, for the next 8 years, Mao had allied himself with his enemy. Listen again, Mao had allied himself with Chiang Kai-shek and the Kuomintang to fight the Japanese. But Mao made even a greater mistake during the rape of Nanjing when 25,000 of your own people, children and women, were slaughtered by the Japanese in 10 days with sabers. Mao Zedong didn't do one thing to interfere. He allowed it to happen so that he could use that as a false flag to attack the Japanese even more viciously, along with the Kuomintang. 1945, he ostensibly defeated the Kuomintang and they went to Taiwan. Then Mao, your great leader, remember what I'm saying, created the Cultural Revolution, where he killed 20 to 40 million of your own countrymen. This is your idol. But in something very similar, your idol also said that these people deserve to be killed because they were anti-communists, and he was a totalitarian leader. What Mao really was doing was creating an authoritarian personality and lying all the way through it. What exactly do I mean? If you had read the personal memoirs of Mao's physician, Dr. Li Zhisiu, you would have understood that Mao was a liar. Mao was grandiose. Mao had sexual aberrations. Does that sound familiar? He had unusual sexual habits with women. He supported the Gang of Five, which was his wife, and then when she messed up on the Gang of Five, he put her in a mental institution. So Mao turned against his own allies. What do I mean by that? When he created the Cultural Revolution and realized the atrocity he had committed, he sent General Liu Shaoqi, in an airplane and then had that airplane destroyed. Similarly, he sent General Lin Piao in an airplane and had that airplane destroyed. So those who were killed, he claimed, were the leaders of the Cultural Revolution, although Mao Zedong was that leader. He claimed he swam in the Yangtze River. Complete lie. He, like Trump, wrote the Red Book. Now, what is the Red Book? Trump does Twitters. The Red Book is filled with all kinds of aphorisms, but never really elaborated. They're small little aphorisms. So, President Xi, if you want to understand Trump, look back at your own leader, Mao Zedong, who's far more lethal than Trump. But let me quote to you Napoleon Bonaparte, who said, "Never interfere with your enemy making a mistake." On that note, I say good night and good luck.